Coming up on Full Contact, we look back at the MLL All-Star Game with the three Cannons who were out in Sacramento. Plus, we profile team captain turned TV analyst Josh Hawkins. And Coach Cork is here with his latest coaching tip. All that and more coming up on Cannons Full Contact, starting right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to this episode of Cannons Full Contact. I'm Margaret McCauley, and I'm joined, as always, by former Cannons defenseman Jack Reed. Jack, it's our next to last episode. It's August. You're getting married. Can you believe we're already here?
No, I can't. But it's been a blast.
Of course, yeah. Well, tonight the Cannons play their final game of the season when they take on the Atlanta Blaze at Harvard Stadium. Since we saw you last, three Cannons were able to take part in MLL's All-Star Weekend in Sacramento.
Goalie Tyler Fiorito, faceoff specialist Joe Nardella, and defender Brandon Mullins were selected to play in this year's All-Star Game. Let's take a look back at their action.
Good turnout here at Papa Murphy's Park in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, it's a great honor to be out here again in California. I think this is my third one, and it's exciting every year having the chance to play in a non-traditional hotbed. We played in Houston, LA, and then here, and again a chance to showcase our skills to people that don't have access to see the game that often, and have a lot of fun and play with some of the best guys.
Normally we have like a timeout at like 9, 5.
I'm pumped. It's a huge honor to be named, among the players listed on this All-Star team. Especially being just my second year in the league. Playing my full season. It's just a huge opportunity and big honor to be able to play with these guys. Just treat it like any other game. Obviously we've got all the All-Stars here, so I'm just gonna go out there, do the best I can, and help the Stars win the game.
It's really special if you look at all the guys on each team in the league. The league is just stacked with talent, so to be considered one of the best is always an honor. And I'm just really looking forward to getting out here and playing with some of these guys that I don't get to play with, and usually I'm on the opposite side of the field with. I'm expecting it to be a pretty fun up and down game. I mean, they told us the MVP gets $10,000, so we'll see if the passing's a little bit limited compared to years past. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to playing an up and down style of game. I think that really fits my style of play as well.
Got by Ratliff, here they come, right in tight, save! Beautiful save by Fiorito. Here's a chance, and Fiorito saved that, and Courier almost got one in front. I know I had to look twice. Make sure I had the right guy too. Big save by Fiorito there with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, again, it's a fast-paced game. Everyone wants to see goals, so you kind of have to have a short memory as a goalie, and you have the ability to make a lot of stops. And again, the guys make plays out there. You'll see a lot of behind the backs. You'll see a lot of highlight reel goals, and again, there's an added incentive for guys to put up best effort. And I think this year you won't be disappointing.
Tyler Fiorito and Joe Nardella were both members of Team Stripes, which won the game in overtime over Brandon Mullins and Team Stars. After the game, we caught up with the Cannons goalie on the field.
We were a little bit unsure. Last year attendance was a little low, and this year I think they did a great job. They got the fans out here. There was a kids tournament, and we showed up and we looked around like, this is impressive. When the sun went down and the temperature dropped, we're like, this is better than Charlotte and Florida, where there's no humidity here, and it was a great atmosphere to play. It's an awesome facility, and we're lucky that they welcomed us, and the fans were great tonight. The first couple minutes here were a little iffy for us too. I think I gave up 7 goals in that third quarter, and I almost was like, I'm out of here. But we stayed positive. We started playing a little bit better off-ball defense, and giving up shots that I can give myself a chance. And fans really got into it in the end, and guys really played hard because we're all competitive. That's all you can ask for in an All-Star game. And the big guy going down and scoring at the end in overtime it was a great outcome.
Congrats to Tyler, Joe, and Brandon on making the All-Star team. It seemed like it got pretty competitive out there, especially with $10,000 on the line.
You get that class of elite world-class lacrosse player on the field all at one time, competing for a big check, it's going to get a little heated.
You gotta love it. Well, coming up here on Cannons Full Contact, it's our community spotlight, and then we profile Cannons captain Josh Hawkins, so stick around.
We're on to you, diabetes. Time's up insufficient prenatal care. And administrative paperwork, your days of drowning people are numbered. Same goes for you, budget overruns. And rising costs. Wipe that smile off your face. We're coming for you too. For those who won't rest until the world is healthier, neither will we. Optum, how well gets done.
Welcome back to Cannons Full Contact. All year long, we've tried to show you how the Cannons and people at every level of the sport of lacrosse in New England are having a positive effect on the community. Let's take a look back at some of the people and events we focused on.
It's really special for us to be a part of Cannons Champions for Cancer.
Our Cannons Fighting Cancer initiative is really about bringing the lacrosse community together and the Cannons in the fight against cancer.
The relationship between the Cannons and Boston Children's Hospital is really a year-round relationship that it's very special for the hospital.
It's been a huge initiative for the Cannons and the players to be involved in the community, and so we've done a ton of different events, knowing that you're helping raise money for the kids to have a safe place to live and get taken care of.
So much credit to you guys, Metro Lacrosse and everyone else, because it's an avenue that they would never go down, and they would never have this experience.
I think the what ifs for me are all of you. What if you hear Morgan's story and you change how you would deal? What if you end up going to college on a lacrosse scholarship and go on to change your community?
Trimino has been our sponsor for our community spotlight all year long, and of course Bob, the man in charge of everything, joins us now. Bob Leary, the founder of Trimino, joining us here on Cannons Full Contact. So, I mean, tell us where you got the idea and why you started Trimino.
Well, before I get into that, I have to start by giving you your official Trimino hat.
My favorite guests are the ones that bring me some swag.
Now,
so.
I understand you want to put it on backwards, and we'll let that go, but yeah, the
my
logo's
good side, you know,
yeah,
it's the good
I'm
side.
with you. So anyway, I mean, Trimino, the genesis of Trimino was that the three founders of the company, across the three of us, have 9 boys, and they were all active in sports, principally lacrosse, football, hockey, but mostly lacrosse. And we kept seeing our kids drinking all of these high-sugar sports drinks. And we thought about how can we take the empty calories of the sugar out and put in something good for them. So we came up with Trimino. It was originally supposed to be a carbonated drink, and for complicated reasons, it ends up being a water as opposed to a soda. And it's got 7 grams of protein, 100% vitamin B complex, no sugar, no carbs, no fat, no caffeine. It turns out to be ideal for kids.
I love it. I actually got my first cavity as a college athlete drinking sports drinks. So I love that this has no sugar. It's good for kids. How did you guys get involved with the Boston Cannons?
You know, having a background in lacrosse, my 3 sons all played Division I. I coached for years at the youth and high school level. It was just a natural to reach out to the lacrosse community, and the Cannons were the closest team to where the company is in Connecticut. And you know, there's just a great front office staff, and they've been a pleasure to work with. We want to work with the Cannons to be able to reach our principal audience, which is actually women on the go, but
that's why I love it.
Indeed. But by working with the youth athletes, we tend to be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, hit the kids, which is very good for the kids, but also introduce it to their mothers.
And of course, I see you guys out at all the different Cannons events. You guys were out at Championship Weekend with a huge Trimino thing, so whoever came into the Cannons event got their own Trimino bottle. I mean, it tastes good, it's great, it's healthy for you. And you have guys who are sponsored. You got Josh Hawkins, Davey Emila, James Fahey, Jim, whatever he wants to go by. Tell me about those 3 guys and what they do for Trimino.
You know, our experience with them has been fabulous. They have tremendous integrity, and they interact with the kids in a level that kids really relate to. It's been a fabulous experience for us.
Awesome.
And then sometimes, you know, they get their girlfriends involved in promoting Trimino.
Hey, was that a shout out for me? I love it. Well, Trimino, it tastes good. My favorite flavor, strawberry lemonade, but you guys have so many other ones.
Mine is the peach.
And you guys have, how many flavors right now?
Right now 4, but we're about to make 3 more.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
I'll give you one hot tip. citrus is coming.
Ooh, breaking here on Cannon's Full
You have
Contact.
it.
Bob, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sponsoring our Community Spotlight, and thank you for everything you do with the Cannons.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This is my son Dylan's third Cannons clinic, and he would not be anywhere else. The opportunity to train with the pros and the coaches is just phenomenal.
The interaction and the amount of knowledge that they're giving my 8-year-old was incredible.
Obviously excited to teach the game of lacrosse, but more so to have an impact on these kids and give them, an experience that maybe they haven't had yet before.
And learning from the pros again, it's that experience that, when you see the top levels playing, that they can teach them the tips, the drills, the meanings of why you go hard and play the game.
Getting good instruction at a young age, especially this age, goes so far. They're young, they haven't really started to develop their own game yet, and anything we can do to, help that happen, it's going to be great for them in the long run.
It's not normal. It's not routine. It doesn't do usual, or run-of-the-mill, or typical. It doesn't have speeds, or limits, or restrictions. It's refreshingly simple, but it's never ordinary. Try Mino. Protein never tasted so good.
Hawkins in transition. Swim move, Hawkins in, scores! How about Josh Hawkins?
Taken away by Hawkins. Hawkins on the run. Score, we're tied up. Wow. Hawkins, the run, and the goal! Oh, that was pure effort once again by Josh Hawkins.
Welcome back to Cannons Full Contact. Josh Hawkins joined the Cannons in 2015 after spending time in Hamilton and Charlotte. Josh is an all-star on the field and a leader off of it, serving as one of the Cannons captains.
MLL players all typically have jobs off the field, and more of them are keeping it lacrosse, whether it's running camps and clinics, representing the equipment manufacturers, or in Josh's case, full-time on Lac Sports Network. Let's take a look at some of his work.
But I wanted to give you a chance to explain your style. You're a guy that's very stylish. 2 of those goals were an open netter and a penalty shot by Schreiber at the end of the game. Rattled off 9 straight wins, sitting at 16-4 now. Sparked that offense, sparked that whole squad. I mean, it was a well-coached game. It was a well-played game. This is their time, and you see those seniors stepping up. Bocklet really does it all for the Outlaws. And then you add in Miles Jones, and he's still in there producing. You really see that box ability come in, those box skills come in when he was in tight. Henningsen rose to the occasion. I mean, he stepped up. number 1, though. That is huge for me.
That's huge for you.
Josh has been with LSN since they launched in January of 2016, and as far as we know, he's the only active professional athlete to work full-time in that role. The midfielder / TV analyst is the subject of this week's player profile.
It was a lot worse. The slash from Joel White actually went through my nail. Playing a game on Saturday and then coming into the studio on Sunday and talking about it. Vice versa, talking about the game beforehand and then playing in it. It's like, okay, how do you not poke the bear and say things that might get the other team excited and then might change the way that they play in the game. That got individual awards shouldn't be up for the All-Pro team. I grew up in Western Mass. I played for Charlotte, and at the time when I was playing for Charlotte, I was living in California, so I didn't have an area code. I was in my own time zone that entire summer. So finally, when I was able to move home and play for the Boston Cannons and live in Market, it was huge because now I'm involved with MDA, I'm involved with Metro Lacrosse, I'm involved with all these different organizations in the community outside of the Cannons, but the Cannons have helped build those relationships. It's been nice to have my parents come to every game, every home game, family, friends come to games. My aunt lives in Watertown, so there's a lot of perks to obviously playing in Boston, and it was a coming of home, you know, in the fact that being able to work and live in the city and drive 5 minutes to Harvard to practice or play a game has been a lot of fun and a lot easier on my body and all that. Our studio's tucked in the corner over here. Got to swipe in. I was coaching at the time. I got a call from Rob Wallace. He called me and asked me if I had any interest in potentially being an on-air talent for Black Sports Network. And I said, what? What is this? Who is that? What is this thing? And you know, fast forward a little bit, we met. You know, he laid it all out and told me everything that was going on and the mission statement and the fact that there was going to be a 24/7 digital network dedicated strictly to the sport of lacrosse. It was something I was extremely excited about. Luckily, I was able to start in December of 2015, right before the launch in January 2016.
Starting this segment off with a bang.
You know, I'd never been on cam before. I was a comm major at Loyola, so I took radio classes and graphics classes and everything. So I've you know, dabbled in the realm. But never thought that I would be an on-air talent for an actual network post-college as a career. I guess this year I felt a difference on the field. Last year it was easier for me to kind of be mean and angry and flip that switch and kind of play with that attitude, kind of having that edge. But now it's like I'm friends with everybody and I have relationships with everybody because I'm talking to Jordan Wolf on Wednesday and then playing him on Saturday. You know, so it's a, hey, how you doing? Okay, now let's go to battle type of situation instead of kind of just having my blinders up and just, you know, playing and playing with that passion. So it's been hard trying to when to flip that switch and when not to, and how to separate those on the field. But it's been fun trying to do that because, like I said, I've built more relationships. I've been able to learn more about all the different players in the league and the coaches and everyone involved and how the league is run and the ins and outs, the operations. So it's been a lot of fun being right on the front lines of it all, being so close to the league, but also playing in it. Chirping is definitely a huge thing that I get on the field, and oh, you're going to talk about this on Monday on LSN and things like that. But it's been a fun ride, and I wouldn't change anything. I think it's been an interesting dynamic to have a player and an analyst, you know, working in both fields at the same time. So it's like I said, it's been a challenge, but it's also been really rewarding and fun at the same time. I can't complain at all.
I can tell you personally, doing this show for the last 2 years, not as easy as it looks, but Josh does a great job on Lac Sports Network.
I mean, I think he's amazing, but I think we all know I'm pretty biased. Yeah, but balancing that while he's still playing for the Cannons, that's even more impressive for sure. Coming up next here, Coach Quirk is going to join us with his latest coaching tip.
We're on to you, diabetes. Time's up insufficient prenatal care. And administrative paperwork, your days of drowning people are numbered. Same goes for you, budget overruns. And rising costs. Wipe that smile off your face. We're coming for you too. For those who won't rest until the world is healthier, neither will we. Optum, how well gets done.
It's not normal. It's not routine. It doesn't do usual, or run-of-the-mill, or typical. It doesn't have speeds, or limits, or restrictions. It's refreshingly simple, but it's never ordinary. Try Mino. Protein never tasted so good.
Welcome back to Cannons Full Contact. I'm Margaret McCauley, and I'm joined as always by Jack Reed. Now, Jack, as a defender, one of your biggest tasks out there on the field is to get the ball out of the end of your field and into the other field on the clear after making a big defensive stop.
You haven't successfully stopped the other team's offense until you've gotten the ball out of your zone and given it back to your own offense. So taking pressure off the defense, that's what clearing's really all about. Occasionally, you have to even jumpstart the offense.
And you were always good on the clear, right?
Focused on it.
Of course. Well, here's Coach Quirk with this week's Kyocera Coach's Tip on how to teach clearing to your team.
Coach Quirk here. Today we're going to be covering our clearing game. Okay, the next drill is clearing. We're going to use 2 low defenders, a midfielder at the top of the box, and a midfielder pinching down low to simulate a clear to push our offense. We'll start with the goalie with the ball, breaking out to the wing player, calling for the ball, get that overpass, build up the ladder up the field, and our midfielders breaking up for some transition. Really the fundamentals that we're working on are overpasses, stick work, breaking to the ball, and breaking upfield to receive a pass to start the offense. Break. Overpass completed. Now we're building the ladder up the field. Player coming to the ball, midi breaking up the field to start transition. At every level, clearing is instrumental to starting the team offense. A few coaching points during the clearing drill: communication, good crisp passes, fundamentals, stick work, breaking to the ball, and breaking up the field.
And we're now joined by Coach Quirk to help us go a little more in depth into the art of the clear. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. So, I mean, you guys are the experts here. Talk to me about clearing.
Well, Coach, it's one of those phases of the game where you've got to execute, right? And I think if I look at a box score and I see a clearing percentage that's under 90%, I can probably pick which team won and lost the game. I always think of it like basketball. If you give the offensive team the rebound in basketball, they're getting an extra possession, more chances to score points. In lacrosse, even with the shot clock, if we don't clear it successfully, they're going to be able to draw out the possessions. If you clear it really well, you might wind up with an easy goal too, right?
Definitely. That's something, certainly that we talk about with the Cannons, but even youth lacrosse and high school lacrosse is the offense starts with the defense, right? If the goalie makes a save or there's a loose ground ball and picked up by a defender or midfield and we clear it up, that's really how to start the offense, especially in transition in this league and even at the lower level, so really key.
Well, let's look at some examples of the Cannons trying to clear. If you can hit the play button for me down there, we can see one example. You guys are playing Chesapeake here.
And this is classic example. Matt Landis, defender, picks it up, gets that overpass, starting to push transition a little bit. You get that up pass towards the middle of the field to James Fahey, and that's a pole goal right there, Margot.
Ooh, I love it.
Jack, great goal, right?
Up and out was the key, and they really stretched the top of the opposing team offense, right? The guys are busting out hard, they're creating space, and that redirect pass really helps to take pressure off.
Did you ever get any pole goals in transition when you played?
Not in college. I was too focused on the defensive aspects, I'd say, but I actually like to get up and down a little bit in the MLL.
All right, let's take a look at another example where things go a little bit differently on the clear. This one, if you can hit play for me again, starting with a save from Tyler Fiorito.
Good team defense here. Tyler makes a great outside save and takes his time. We get set up in a clear. We get our poles down. Middies are getting upfield. He outlets that ball to about the 30-yard line. Again, gets it to the middle of the field where we have some space to create. And then Justin Turry gets it down the side eventually to our attackman to start our offense, like we said.
And sometimes it gets slowed down in transition. Then you guys wait and bring more offensive guys on to kind of have a settled offense, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Look at me turning into an expert as we take this season along. Anything else, Jack?
Biggest key is defensemen staying low. Young defensemen tend to drift up. They need to be involved in the clear, especially when it's settled, not one of the quick ones up over the top. So that's really the key there.
Kids, listen to him. He is an expert. Coach, thank you so much for joining us to break down the clear. That's going to do it for another episode of Cannons Full Contact. We'll be back in 2 weeks, but until then, we got to close out the show, right?
We do. First part, stay hydrated.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Go Cannons.
Let's go. See you guys.